the recent Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special ended Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It turned out to be the shortest, lasted from January 2021 to November 2022, and at the same time the most intense in terms of the amount of content. 7 films, 7 TV series, 2 specials, and 1 animated series. There's a popular notion in geek circles that the franchise has gone downhill since Avengers Endgame, but does the lack of a big hit, with the exception of a slightly spin-off Spider-Man, mean fans should be worried about the MCU now? Today we will try to figure it out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press like. Galaxy Movie Saga of the Multiverse. Recall that the MCU films are grouped into phases, and those, in turn, are combined into sagas. So, the first 3 phases, which lasted from 2008 to 2019, make up the Infinity Saga. Its plot revolves around the Infinity Stones, which were collected by the supervillain Thanos in order to destroy half the universe. The main theme of the just completed 4th, as well as the upcoming 5th and 6th phases, is the multiverse, that is, the active interaction of different parallel realities. To be honest, no general picture around this stated topic has developed. Almost all of Phase 4 passed by the multiverse. For example, in the films, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Only 2 films actively worked with her, Spider-Man, No Way Home and Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness. Criticizing here, of course, is not the films themselves, but the curator of the franchise, Kevin Feige. The unity of the MCU is also not helped by the absence of a team film in this phase. All Marvel heroes work solo. The exception is the collaboration of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, but a few minutes at the beginning of the film do not even count. No new Avengers have been and are not expected until 2025, when the Avengers Kang Dynasty crossover will be released. Interestingly, even Kang the Conqueror, the central villain of the new saga, which has been called the Saga of the Multiverse, did not have time to make his film debut. So far, we've only seen one of its variants in the Loki series, and the film debut has been delayed until Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The decision, to put it mildly, is controversial. After all, Disney Plus series do not enjoy the same mass popularity as theatrical releases. The absence of an antagonist on the big screen is a big minus, because the audience of feature films still does not understand who all the superheroes will eventually fight against in the end of the saga. There are more TV shows than movies. The main innovation of the 4th phase is the appearance of series on Disney Plus streaming, which are closely intertwined with the plots of films. To truly understand what is happening in the new Doctor Strange, you can only look before this WandaVision. Disney plans to follow the same strategy in the future. Before watching the films Marvels and Captain America: The New World Order, you will have to familiarize yourself, if you haven't already, with the series Ms. Marvel and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In our opinion, WandaVision and Loki were the best series of the 4th phase. If you have already watched the series, then write what you liked the most. At the same time, the 4th phase clearly demonstrates that in streaming projects, the CVM feels freer and allows more experiments. But what did we end up seeing in theaters? A good sequel to a good movie, the second Black Panther, a new and rather failed comedy by Waititi, Thor and Love, a very beautiful and elaborated Shang-Chi, an ambiguous film about the Eternals, and an interesting Doctor Strange. Even the most successful movie of the phase, Spider-Man: No Way Home, is a movie that seems to have been built on fan expectations and theories. But is there anything unexpected in it? Even the most ardent Marvel fans seem to be hesitant to argue that Phase 4 didn't produce a single truly amazing blockbuster. But all the series turned out to be different in quality, but definitely bold. A melodrama about a lawyer who likes to break the 4th wall? Here is She-Hulk. Want a Christmas thriller? This role is played by Hawkeye. Gritty drama in a sitcom meta-cover? Gorgeous WandaVision. Bright teenage dramedy Ms. Marvel. A political thriller The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The gloomy and supernatural also found a place in Moon Knight. As part of the 4th phase, there was even a fascinating animated anthology What If, in the final of which a new team of Guardians of the Multiverse meets. We are sure that we will still meet them in feature films. Well, the main proof of the bet on streaming is Loki, which, before the sequel to Strange, explained on the fingers what the multiverse is. Series are now at the forefront of the MCU and will set the course for the franchise. In the 4th phase, there were already 7 of them, 8 if you count the animated What If. That is one more than films. MCU for everyone and not for everyone. The current age of content abundance is both a curse and a blessing. It is simply impossible for one person to see the latest news from all platforms, all franchises and all studios. For the casual viewer, keeping a close eye on the MCU in 2022, with 3 movies, 3 TV shows and 2 specials, is a tough quest. But it doesn't seem to need to be done anymore. Now Disney is aiming for the widest possible audience. For example, Ms. Marvel is about a Pakistani-American schoolgirl. This series is primarily aimed at teenagers who grew up on the MCU. Kamala Khan is the perfect heroine for teens to associate with. This doesn't mean that the show can't get to your heart if you haven't been bullied for being different in school. You might appreciate great humor, interesting show design, or a compelling storyline. What really mattered in Marvel's rides, however, was the audience's identification with the characters. Now on MCU there is something to interest every viewer. Was it boring for you to watch a teenage melodrama about ethnocultural problems? Okay, then you can watch the action series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier with references to the real conflicts of post-Trump America. In terms of the diversity of heroes, the MCU has come close to the Marvel Universe from comics. Only a notorious geek can read each issue about each superhero. The rest choose which characters they are interested in and follow exclusively their adventures, having also the opportunity to connect to small and large crossovers. The Marvel movies and TV series are now arranged in the same way, with numerous pre-movie recaps filling the gaps. Specials are like a breath of fresh air. The special issue of Guardians of the Galaxy demonstrated another feature of the format. Specials are needed to arrange short but pleasant dates with your favorite characters. James Gunn made A Christmas Bauble in the best possible way, a warm holiday musical starring Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis, who had their last solo movie released 5 years ago. It's easy for the director and the studio to do this kind of thing, and it's nice for the fans. It turns out good bonus content for premium streaming. Thus, Disney Plus performs another important function. The studio stretches the franchise for a whole year, filling almost all the gaps between theatrical releases of films. The MCU is now plowing non-stop all year round, and no one is waiting for new superhero content for several months anymore, as it was back in the days of the third phase. Perhaps, to some devoted Marvel fans, such a strategy may seem like overproduction, which inevitably leads to a crisis, but no one can offer an alternative to this pipeline. DC rarely shoots and is much less accurate than Marvel. And for the generation that connects to the multiverse in the 2020s, diversity is an unconditional value. But, in fact, everyone needs it, even those viewers who have not yet understood this. So, in the end, with the answer to the main question, did the Marvel Cinematic Universe roll down or not? The 4th phase of the franchise showed that the policy of Marvel has changed, and now the emphasis is equally on both films and series. We feel that this is only to the benefit of such a huge franchise, which has rarely released content before. The most important thing is that the quality of films and serials does not fall due to the reworking of actors, screenwriters, and everyone who participates in the creation of these masterpieces. We hope we have helped you resolve this issue. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like Galaxy Movie.